idea for a reality show. When Women Rule the World had to be a winner. First, 8 feisty females take over a beautiful Caribbean island, enter 10 alpha males, knowing nothing more than that the end game is to win £30,000. What they don't realise is that there's only one law. Women rule, men obey. And the blokes are in for a nasty shock.
8 women, 10 men, 1 law. Women rule, men obey.
On your knees.
Can women use men to create their utopia?
I think the men are definitely in for a shock.
The worst scenario you could put me in is if the birds were all mingers.
Pick up that wheelbarrow and go now.
No one can tell me what to do, especially a girl.
Now, feds in! These guys, irritated by bossy women, they better be prepared to be irritated because I am bossy. Chop chop.
I cannot believe I'm in this situation.
Reduced to powerless servants, these men are expected to build the perfect society.
Seems to me the purpose of being here is to be pushed around by a load of women. Just like being married, I suppose.
These men here couldn't organise a in a brewery.
Can the men handle women's rule?
You do not do what I tell you to do, you will get punished.
My.
Promises, promises.
She looks fierce, doesn't she? She's not with us at the moment, but joining us are, in fact, 2 of the Queen Bees, Gemma and Christine, and 2 of their slaves, G-Range and Ed. Hello, and welcome to all of you.
Hi.
This is the truth, isn't it, boys? You had no idea. You knew it was a reality show. You knew there was a prize to be won, but you knew nothing. You had no idea about this women. You have to do everything that the women say.
No idea whatsoever. Literally, the first day it was all just straight down.
Straight, wasn't told what was happening.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, we weren't slaves, we were like we were servants, but they tried to treat us like slaves. We were servants,
Yeah, you really were tough on them, weren't you?
Yeah, I think we really had to be, though, because we had a short amount of time to whip this community into shape, and I think in the beginning we had to assert ourselves, like, this is our rule, you have to obey it, you don't have a choice, so just get to work.
So basically, you made them look after you, so you'd have a great time in the sun in the Caribbean. Yeah, that was the deal.
That was the whole idea, but it was a lot harder.
You're scary. You're quite scary. You're scaring me now.
I feel very strongly about this, Richard. We had a hard time. It was so hard. These guys thought they had it rough, but
had a hard time.
It was really difficult for the women, not just to not just to garner respect from the men and get the work done, but we had to galvanize ourselves. I mean, it was really hard for 8 really strong, independent women to get into a room together and decide what to do.
But did you find that, see, all my life I've worked alongside and for women. I mean, my first deputy editor when I was on newspaper was a woman. Editors, senior producers have been women, right? So I'm totally comfortable with it, you know, and I have an equal sort of career with Judy here. Did you find these guys resisted the very fact that you were women?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Right from the word go.
You old
right from the word
Ed likes to deny it. Ed likes to deny it.
To be honest
If you can imagine these guys walking
Come on the programme now, you can let him speak.
When we got there, basically they came into our community and they thought they were going to like a Love Island or something, and we were all stood there like, hey. And their faces when they got told they was going to be our servants was a picture, so we set a standard and we had to stick to it.
But
there's always a but.
But the way things were told and blah blah blah, like they were given the power and they didn't know how to act with it, so they went crazy in the beginning. So,
yeah, we did go.
Well, actually, we've got a clip of them picking on you.
Now, this isn't fair. I mean, we'll show this picture again later. No. I wouldn't mind picking up firewood. I wouldn't mind chopping up a log, but you got to try and move a tree by himself. Let's
take a look.
Leanne's still on his case, determined to make sure he understands his position and nag him into ultimate submission.
You are a servant.
An interesting tactic.
Someone help me move this log, and I'm not talking about this one.
I am talking to you, so I would look at me when I'm talking to you. I really would, okay? Because I have no issues about punishment.
All of a sudden, all the women noticed that there was an issue going on, and we just all kind of united.
Punish me, spank me.
I'm going to give you a chance here. I don't spank, darling.
Well, what's your punishment then?
Why would you rather be punished than do what you're asked to do?
I was literally just behind you and I felt the tension build up.
We're not asking, we're
telling you to do it.
It was a firework that was charging up, so I thought I don't want to be part of this. Didn't know what was going to happen.
Listen, I'll talk to you anywhere, please. I'm the alpha male, yeah?
I just felt that he was getting a bit too hot, so I had to cool him down, which I did.
Yeah, I understand. Listen.
Now, Ed, I've got to say, with the muscles on you there, you look pretty worked out there. But let's have a look at that tree again.
Who was pumped?
I mean, you could have helped him. You could have gone
Look at poor G at the end of that tree. That tree was so heavy, though. That was so heavy.
Was it waterlogged?
All of it.
Was it waterlogged?
Waterlogged.
Oh, they're making excuses. Literally, if we were allowed, you've got to remember, we weren't allowed to do one little tiny thing for
We're not
ourselves.
allowed to lift it.
I reckon if we could put our minds to it, we could have moved that between two of us. They just wanted to make a big scene.
So it's so easy to say it?
It was like a twig.
What was this issue about punishment? I mean, what possible punishments could you inflict on these guys?
We could inflict several different punishments. We had the authorization to say, look, if you haven't done your job, or if you've been mouthing off, or if any sort of situation arose which you thought was inappropriate, we could say to them, look, you're going to do this, 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 and this. But we wanted to have a little fun with it. So a punishment could be, you know, if G was mouthing off, which he often did, we would say, okay, you're going to wear ladies' underwear and the bra's going to be filled with sand.
I'd pay money to see that.
He likes to be the type of guy who's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm an alpha male. I'm an alpha male. There's no way I'm doing that.
The only restrictions across the board were that whatever we said whatever the punishments were, it was up to us. So there was no. It could be a tiny little sit on the naughty boy step, or it could be.
Please, miss, can I ask a question?
That's what I'm saying. She still thinks it's the phone going on.
Do you think you humiliated them?
They needed a little humiliation, quite frankly.
They feel humiliated.
They tried to at a certain point.
I think
all the problems started right at the beginning because none of the guys who were there knew what was going on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, they needed a little humiliation. They needed to be taken off that peg. Yes, I'm a male, and now you are.
That's the rebellion.
Hang on a sec. I've rather unfairly asked our researcher, Georgie, who you've been talking to today, to ask you a very important question. As well as all the discipline and the face-offs and stuff, was there a bit of the old housey father? And I'm told that there was. I'm told that there were moments.
That was between the boys.
Oh, wouldn't you love it if it was?
There were a few softy moments. Yes, there were.
I mean, I'm talking about off-camera. You know?
Off-camera.
Off-camera.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait. You'll have to watch. It was very saucy.
All right.
Yeah.
And you had a winner, and somebody one bloke did walk away with a 30 grand?
Someone did, yes.
Somebody did, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, we can't reveal that, but when women rule the world, starts on Channel 4 in September. But while you're all still here, I'd just like to show you something. It's a new website which provides the answers to one of life's great questions: what to do with the jewellery your boyfriend's given you after you split up. Has this ever happened to you?
Yeah.
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
Keep it?
Burn it? I'm sorry, no, there's a lot of emotions attached to that gift and that jewelry, and you're like, I don't want to be reminded of all the crap you put me through.
Well, it depends how much it'd be worth, but I'm still waiting. I've got to say 6.5 years, and I haven't seen a jewellery shop, never mind a ring. But maybe Jen, ask me, maybe Jen. I think that's probably
Just kick them into the shop, you know. What about you guys? I mean, do you ever keep any trinkets or stuff that exes have given you?
No, haven't had any.
They're men.
Haven't had any.
But that's criminal. What are you going to say? What are the girls going to do with this jewellery?
Well, we're going to have a look, because actually it did happen to me because my first engagement ended. I was only 19. And I didn't know what to do with the ring, so I gave it to my mum. But if you decide to flog it on this new website...
Your fiancé was pleased. What did you do with the ring, Judy? I gave it to my mum. You gave it to me? Yeah.
You could even get to tell your own story on this website of your own broken romance.
We dated for 7 years.